Welcome back to Gamer-0. I'm your host T Hill. So, episode of the night is going to be my review for Enslaved. I just finished it, so I'm going to give you a quick rundown. It's a very short review. Let me know what you think. Just going to knock it out all in one summed up kind of setup. Adventurous, really keeps you caught up in the moment. You get attached to your characters. Their emotions and the way they're depicted are so believable. The eye placement, Andy Serkis did a great job with Monkey. Tripp's portrayed very well. She has very, very emotional facial expressions. You meet a character later on. I'm not going to tell you his name. I don't want to spoil it, but he's also very believable and has a very fun personality to him. That being said, you can see their emotions, but there's just not enough meat in the story to really get you connected to them. It seems like the story drives you forward so much, but not really paced right, so that way you can say, okay, I can feel this character, I can feel their plight. I mean, yeah, you can. There's discussion pieces about it, but you never really get enough time to really deep into who they are, what makes Monkey the way he is, or what makes Trip the way she is. There's just so much. It feels like the story was kind of pushed, at least from my impressions. Tell me what you think. Then there's the graphics. The overall set pieces are really, really, really nice. Very imaginative, colorful for a post-apocalyptic world. The urban, the nature and the forest are reclaiming the planet, and it looks really good. Just there's not a large variety of set pieces, and I just came off of my Castlevania, and it's always switching up on you, which is nice. It's got great pacing. Enslaved is very much the same kind of theme throughout it, with the scenery. Corridor open, corridor open, corridor open. And when I say open, that's your time for platforming or for fighting. So that, it's not a bad element. I felt for the level setup, it just wasn't paced right, or there just wasn't enough variety to really, okay, so I don't feel like I'm getting into the same kind of motion where, okay, I'm going into this specific area, I can expect to fight. Okay, I'm going into this specific area, I'm going to have to climb. Now, there are a few varieties where you get to man a turret, or fight a boss, or, get on a boat and man a turret. Now, there's a highlight to some of that kind of mechanics, and that is the boarding when you get on Cloud. That is awesome. If you haven't seen the videos, check it out. It's just fun. It's fun to play with. There just isn't enough scenes where it's in there. You get one play area and then a couple demanding spots. It's one of the highlights of the mechanics for it. Combat wise, not deep at all. I mean, there are upgrades you can get to Monkey's combat skills, his staff abilities, his health, where it regenerates, so that way as it gets later on in the title, it's not as grueling to get through a fight, because when the mechs come in, if you haven't upgraded to a certain point your abilities, they will just beat the tar out of you. You have to find a good rhythm of either rolling, stun attack, the area attack to keep them off of you, and then just balancing right depending on what kind of mechs are around you, and then prioritizing the mechs in a certain fashion. But it is not a deep combat system at all. And for me, I just didn't feel like there was enough combat structure, additional moves. I mean, you get one later on that's really fancy, and you get a few other ones, but it just doesn't feel like there's enough meat to the combat to just be oh my god, wow. That being said, when you are fighting, it looks really cool. There is weight. None of the enemies can just walk through your attacks. They'll block, but they have to block. They can't just like take your hit and go in. And I like that. And there's like finishers where like say you can break a robot's arm, one of the mech's arms, and then like use him as a shield. So if somebody's shooting, you can block and then throw him. So kind of like the meat shield from like Gears. There's that going on. It's not as visceral to say with the combat, and I knew that going in. It's not a detractor. I just wish there was like a little bit more, just like you felt like when you landed a blow, it was more impactful. Yes, the enemies react to it. It just didn't feel like the moves felt a little like soft hitting, soft like feeling. The cinematic capture to it, where the camera will like adjust to an angle, and then you bring down your swipe. That is really awesome. I thought the developer Ninja Theory would have taken what they've learned from Heavenly Sword's combat and really applied it to Enslaved, but it feels like they didn't. It's like completely different. Yes, it's Ninja Theory, but it feels like a semi-different. The team like that did the combat is not there. It doesn't feel like that at all. But then there were some few problems I had with the combat, and it mainly goes into like the gameplay, actual mechanics, the controls. From a design point, there was like lag at some points where like I'll do a combo. If I killed an enemy, he would just like freeze up and like not move, and the enemies would keep moving. They keep attacking me. I would sit there. That is for me combat. You can't do that. You can't like have lag, because if I'm getting attacked, I want to be able to defend myself, and it's just me. And it's not like it happened in one spot, or like I've been playing the game for too long. But we're talking about within a couple minutes of turning on my disc and then experiencing it. So that was a detractor for me. Then there is like a graphical, like how the system itself. Screen like the texture loaded is wow. You see texture pop up like whole levels completely. Like there was one level where I was on metal ground, and it took like a good, I'd say like 5-6 seconds before it turned from a gray mud look color to actual texturing. And this is throughout the title. You see this. It's not. It doesn't like ruin the experience, but it's like, whoa, what's going on? And this, like I said, is throughout the whole entire game. There are points where the engine struggles to keep the frame rate. Oh, mouth's a little dry, so I apologize. It felt like there was slowdown and some screen tearing. Not horrible. I don't know if I can't remember exactly if the PS3 or the 360, which one was the lead platform, but the PS3 version, which I'm playing, I did experiencing those issues. They're not like game breakers, like, oh my god, I can't play this. But it would have been nice now, since Ninja Theory's had a lot of time with the PS3 to actually work through the bugs. These are same issues that they had with Heavenly Sword, and you would think that they would use the PS3 as the lead SKU and then fix those issues. They didn't do it, and that's a big problem for me, knowing that they've had the time to work on their tech. But does it ruin the experience of the game? Absolutely not. These are things you will notice. They never impair the gameplay experience whatsoever. Replayability for the game, when you're done, you're done. I mean, you can go back and like, if you didn't get all the upgrades, or if you want to get the trophies, but there's really, the game ends in such a way. If you played like Heavenly Sword, you're starting to see a trend on how Ninja Theory ends their stories. This is exactly the same way. I won't ruin it for anyone, but other websites are right when they say this game ends. It ends. That's it. I don't know if they're going to expand on it. I can't see how they can expand on the story. But is it a bad game? Absolutely not. The characters are fun. The world's fun. The navigation's fun. They took a lot of inspirations, you can tell, from Uncharted. Did they deliver on the graphical prowess that was expected? Yes and no. Some areas are just really nice. but then like there's the graphical hiccups. If I were to rate this, I don't get me wrong, I love the game. I love the game. It is fun, and I will play through it again just because I'm one of those, I love hack and slash. But is it a 5 out of 5? No. I can't give it a 5 out of 5. I'm going to have to give it a 4 out of 5. And that being mainly because the graphical issues, the lack of depth, the couple bugs that were like, one point I had to completely shut the game back off and get back into it. Just not having enough meat to it. I mean, it's a good romp through. Is it worth my $60? Yeah, because in a year or so when I haven't played it, I'll probably go back to it. But well, you would. Me, I'll probably play it again in the next couple weeks, just because I like these type of games. And I got I got the ninja skin. There are different like DLC skins you can get, but it's definitely a 4 out of 5, not a 5 out of 5. Not a bad game by any means, but not at the top levels like the Gears. Some of you don't like Gears, but I think it's a great game. The Uncharted's, the Killzones, the Castlevanias, God of Wars, the Infamous. It's in that. It's good, but not quite up at that level. And I would, you're gonna hate me, I'd actually say Heavenly Sword might be better than this title. But there's really some redeeming qualities in this title. Well, I hope you like it. I know it's a little late that I'm getting this out, but I apologize. I just finished it. So, you can always follow me on hiphopgamershow.com. You can follow me on Twitter. It's T_Hill0. Or you can send me a friend request on PSN. It's T-Hill. Rate my video up, rate it down, leave your comments below. Let me know what you think. I hope you like it, and I'm out. Peace.